Okay, welcome to subscriber Creepypasta. This is the very first story that I'm sharing. It did crash. I'm re-recording this, so hopefully I'm hoping for the best. But from this story that I just read before it crashed, it's definitely a scary one. It kind of creeped me out a little bit, but I'm not gonna give his name because he didn't want me giving his name out as he shares his creepypasta or his scariest moment that has ever happened to him. So if you guys want your story shared similar to this video, you guys can send me your stories if you guys want to, and if you guys feel comfortable. You don't have to send your stories and stuff. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the new series. So I decided to make this a brand new series, creepy pasta with power lot. So it seemed like some people, from the positive feedback and the comments and the ratings, you guys definitely enjoyed that. So I figured today I'll just do like a subscriber story because I did get a couple stories. So I'm just gonna do one, and once I share his story, I'll give my reactions of what I would have done in the situation and my reactions and all that stuff. So I'm gonna jump right into it. I have the story here. I'm gonna get rid of this Instagram notification so I won't get no other distractions because this story is on my Facebook Messenger, so I have that here. So he says, 2 months ago I moved back home with my parents. I was living in an apartment in Aruba Street, 29 Aruba Street, and it was a creepy place to live my first time. And before I keep going, some of his words was like out of place, so I think he probably typed too fast. Some of the English is out of place. Some of the words didn't really make sense, so I'm just gonna try to rephrase the words so it makes sense to you guys as I read his story and continue on. So he said it was a creepy place to live my first time. I was home alone, and my roommate was out visiting his uncle in is it Hemet or Hemet, California? I don't know. I might be pronouncing it wrong. And when I was taking a shower at 12 in the afternoon, I heard someone inside the house, and all doors were closed, and I heard a big door slam. But I got out of the shower and texted my roommate, and he was on the freeway, so I looked outside, and no one was home. So I let go, and so I let it go, and I was home alone for a week, and I kept on having a feeling that someone was up in the attic at night. Sometimes I closed the front Sometimes I closed the front door, but 10 minutes later the door would open as if someone was coming in. Gave me the chills, so my roommate Hamid texted me at night telling me that he was going to stay with his uncle for 5 more days. I went to go visit my mom, and when I got back home, the TV was on and the bathroom light was on, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I fucking hated living there, and he hated living there after his roommate Hamid came back home the next day. He says, I woke up at 9 since I wasn't working. I lost my job since they closed the store. So I was like, fuck it. I kept on staying up playing my Xbox 360 or my PlayStation 3. So when I woke up at 9 to get ready to go grocery shopping, I went to go take a shower and got dressed and ready. And out of the blue, the water started running in the shower. Oh! And I looked in the bathroom and I was okay. And I was putting my shoes on, but Hamid was still asleep since I texted him and I was asking him if he was going to use the shower. So I turned it off, and and he said, so he eventually got dressed and went to go buy some food. So he went grocery shopping basically. And when he went back home, he asked his roommate. He said, I asked him, Hamid, his roommate. I asked him. He asked him, and he said no. He said no, he was sleeping. So basically, he didn't hear any sort of noise or anything going on. So he was sleeping. So he was knocked out. He was in such a deep sleep he didn't hear any sort of crazy noises or any noises going on in the background. The water being turned on by itself. So he didn't hear anything at all from what he's telling me here. Uh, so he said, so it was nighttime, and every night I would hear someone talking in the bathroom in like a quiet voice. But he said it was basically some quiet talking, but it wasn't too loud. But I would look and no one was there. But he, from his words here, he always had a feeling that he wasn't alone. He was like hearing stuff, like some kind of presence, like somebody was definitely there in the same room as him or somewhere around him. So he was definitely feeling like a little suspicious and maybe experienced some paranormal, paranormal activity or something like that. So he definitely was feeling some kind of like someone was there, but he just didn't know where it was. Um, and he said um, he always had the feeling that he had a feeling that someone was peeking through the air vents, and the owners were so damn cheap to fix the fucking air condition. His last week there, it gave him the chills every 3 days. It gave him the chills, and he said every 3 days you would walk into the kitchen at night, and you would see like a shadow of someone standing outside around 12 to 3 at night. One short guy, one short guy or a kid with another guy in a suit. But when I would look outside, they would be gone, so they would disappear. But whatever is in that house is whatever's in that house is something creepy or something like that. He says whatever's in there, whatever he saw, is definitely some kind of presence there. From his words here, because some of the words are all over the place. He said he never told anyone till now. So he probably just told me. So he's probably the first one. I'm probably the first one who he's actually told this story. I'm surprised he didn't tell him his roommate, because that's fucking creepy. Um, I just lost my place. He said I never told anyone till now, and I'm back at home now, and I feel free. And he said he feels free now that he's not there, and he said living there would make you have strange mood swings, and every day he was there, he said every day I was there, I was all mad and pissed off, but Hamid never noticed till the day I left, and I lived there for 7 months, and I'm never going back. So that's his story. So he calls it a place he said a story about a place I hate. So I'll definitely call this subscriber creepypasta number one, a place I hate. So that'll be just this first story that I'm sharing. But he's definitely must have been experiencing some ghosts, some kind of ghost or whatever's in that apartment that he was in. Did he tell? My question is, did he tell his roommate? Does his roommate experience that stuff? Is he still there? Like, I'm glad that I wouldn't even blame him. I wouldn't even want to stay there for more than a week. I'll be gone like the first day or 2 days. I'd just be gone. I wouldn't be. I'd tell him I'm out of here. So much noise. Uh, I'm hearing stuff. I can't sleep. Whew, that is scary though. So I think he definitely was experiencing some paranormal activities. Some ghosts were definitely there. A kid and a man in a suit with a shadow figure or something like that. And the water coming on by itself. The TV was on when you came back, but maybe his roommate was still there, and maybe he left and for a temporary amount of time. But he said from his story here, he said he was going to stay with his uncle for like 5 more days. So if he was already going to stay with his uncle for an extended period of time, who could have turned that TV on and the light? Who knows? And it was off when he already left when he went grocery shopping. So that's hella scary. So, from my reactions, I think he was definitely experiencing some ghosts, some paranormal activity there in that apartment. I'm glad he's not even there, and having these mood swings, and who knows what could have happened to him. They could have been, they might even could have been trying to fuck with him. They might, try to, keep him away. Hearing those voices and stuff. That's so creepy. It's giving me the chills just when I read that. Just the fact that he saw that shadowy figure and the kid and the guy in the suit. Whew, that is really crazy. I never experienced that kind of noises and stuff at night when I'm asleep or something like that. I definitely believe in ghosts. I'll say that. I don't know if he does believe in ghosts after this. I think he definitely does, especially after his little experience at that apartment. I don't know if anyone else out there believes in ghosts, but after reading this, ghosts definitely do exist. From the water turning on by itself and then the light, the doors closing and opening, and the fact that the TV was on and the light was on still when by the time he came back, that's hella creepy. So that's my first subscriber, Creepypasta. So I'm willing to do more if you guys would like to send me your stories, and just send me them, via Instagram or here on YouTube. PlayStation Network, I already told most of you. I messaged my whole friends list for those who are interested in, giving you guys the update for this situation. So the repairs are done. So I'm just trying to get back in touch and hopefully get it back soon. In the meantime, so I can probably have some gameplay for you guys. So if you haven't checked out your messages on PlayStation Network, I messaged you guys the update in my creepypasta series that I'm starting. I already started basically my own personal experience of story, and I'm just going to be doing these type of stories if you guys are interested in seeing another one. I do have another story, but I'm not going to do two in one video, so I'll probably say that for a separate video for subscriber creepypasta number 2. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching, and feel free to give your reactions based on this story. It's definitely some ghost experience, paranormal activity from that apartment. So I'm glad. Again, I'm glad you're not even there anymore. So I definitely would have left myself. So I don't blame you. I definitely wouldn't have stayed a week. So that's it.